Tonight, the FBI is searching for answers within its own walls. How did the agency miss a tip warning them about the Parkland school shooter in Florida almost 6 weeks before the massacre? It's a question the FBI still hasn't answered. So tonight, we're going to walk you step by step through the tip process and ask the question, how easily can an FBI tip slip through the cracks? Here's Special Assignment Unit Investigative Reporter Eric Flack.
If you call the FBI with a tip, where does it go? What happens to it? And how does the FBI decide whether it's going to send agents to investigate?
Most FBI tips are called into something known as the FBI's Public Access Line. It's a call center in West Virginia, opened in 2012 to streamline how FBI tips are received and assessed. The FBI says most tips that come into that call center are not FBI matters, so they are forwarded on to the right agency, like the Secret Service, ATF, or local police. But anytime a tipster reports a credible threat involving something like terrorism or violence, those tips are supposed to be passed on to one of the 56 FBI field offices around the country. So even though your tip comes into West Virginia, it's supposed to end up with an FBI agent in your neighborhood, investigating the threat and taking action to stop it. So how did the Florida school shooter slip through the cracks? Way back on January 5th, the FBI got a tip that Nicholas Cruz owned guns, was behaving erratically, making threats on social media, and wanted to carry out a school shooting. And that's where things broke down. The FBI says a tip like that one should have been assessed as a potential threat to life and forwarded on to the FBI field office in Miami, which is the closest one to where Cruz was living. But the West Virginia call center never passed on the tip, and we know what happened next. So why doesn't the FBI just investigate every tip they get? Well, it's a numbers game. In 2017, the FBI said it got 766,888 calls to that tip line. That's an average of 2,101 tips every day. So how does the FBI decide which tips to follow up on? There are a lot of factors, including, can you identify the person making the threat? Can you identify the target of the threat? Is it more than just social media chatter? And are there more pressing threats FBI agents in that field office need to investigate?
But look, there is no perfect formula. Even retired FBI agents will tell you sometimes you just need to make a gut call and hope that you're right. But in the wake of that Florida school shooting, the FBI is now reviewing its entire public access line tip system to figure out what changes need to be made so another tip about someone like Nicholas Cruz is never missed ever again.
Listen, this does not mean that the FBI doesn't want you to call in tips and report things you think are out of the ordinary. In fact, here's that FBI tip line number. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI. If it is an immediate threat that you're thinking about, though, that you have information about, call your local police as well. They can often get to you sooner.